couple of months ago, I discovered a huge mistake. The way I was storing my One Piece cards was actually causing them to discolor. And what I was doing, you might be doing as well. So today, I'm going to show you exactly what not to do when storing your One Piece cards so they don't end up looking like this. Do you see that? That's not right. So let me tell you how I actually found this. One day I just went into my 5-row looking for some of my alternate arts. Now this is where I keep a lot of my bulk and rares, but I also have just a tower of horizontally stacked alt arts that are all in top loaders. And I actually had like 2 of these stacks right where the Zora was. There was another one before I had a whole bunch of these cards and I moved them. So I wanted to look at my alt arts probably to find something for my deck or maybe just to see what I had. And I pulled a stack out and I started looking through them. And this is where I noticed an issue. So we're going to show this Khalifa, for example. When I took a card out of the top loader, I saw that the sleeve was really pressed up against the card. And when I took the card out of the sleeve, I noticed this discoloration. Now it's going to be hard to see on camera. It's actually kind of hard to see in person too. So you have to get the right lighting. But the black bar on the bottom of the Khalifa is supposed to be purely black, and it's actually got some kind of grayed out areas instead. It's lighter in some areas. And I actually thought that this was maybe a manufacturing issue, but then I realized it wasn't. And this is not on just the Khalifa, it's on a bunch of other cards too, like this Kami here. And as I looked at these cards further, I kind of realized what was going on. So what I actually think was happening here was that the sleeves were pressed up too tightly against the cards. And for whatever reason, whether it was due to this amount of pressure or due to some environmental factor like humidity, a chemical bond was formed between the sleeve and that ink layer on the surface of the card. Now, I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm not a chemical engineer, I don't know exactly why this would happen, but I'm not just blowing hot air. So this Foxy here is a prime example of what I'm calling the chemical bond that forms between the surface ink layer of the card and that penny sleeve. You can see the imprint on the penny sleeve, and let's go ahead and try to peel that off. Oh, I don't like that. And I don't like Foxy to begin with, but I didn't want him to get damaged or discolored, and we can see that's exactly what happened. So here's some information to support my theory about why this is happening. First off, One Piece cards are thicker than other cards, like Pokemon cards, for instance, and that makes them fit tighter in top loaders to begin with. And then we have the really big issue. Top loaders are not precisely manufactured. I have a whole bunch of these things, and I noticed on these cards, the top loaders fit fairly tightly, and when I swapped them out with other top loaders, they weren't nearly as tight. I find that when the card slides into the top loader very easily, that's a good fit. And if it doesn't, you don't want to use that top loader. Additionally, when all the cards were stacked on top of each other, there was a lot of weight on the cards, and with this orientation, gravity can pull down on the top loader, pushing the sleeve into the card even more. Now, one of the cards I had the most discoloration with is this poor Rosinante here. I mean, look at him. He has got it all over his noggin. And what I'm curious is if you guys think I should classify this still as discoloration, like I have been, or as damage. I mean, the card's not damaged in the sense where it's all warped or anything like that. You can still play with this. And in fact, besides the discoloration, it looks near mint, looks new. Honestly, I'm kind of curious if I sent this into PSA what it would get, if they would say that the surface is bad, or if it'd still get a 10. And if you guys want to see that for a future video, let me know in the comments below. The other thing is that I'm actually using these ProSafe sleeves. Maybe they're the issue. I mean, they're supposed to be acid-free, no PVC. I bought them on eBay, 10,000 of them for like 50 bucks. That's half a penny for a sleeve. Maybe I should switch back to Ultra Pro, but those are more expensive. If it solves this problem, though, probably would be worth it. So for my new method of storing these, I actually put these top loaders in sideways into this box. That way they are not horizontally down like they were before. This isn't proven yet because it's only been a couple months, and I guess you could store them vertically too. I don't see a problem with that. You don't want them to be too close together though. Like if I put any more in these, it's gonna be a problem. So this is about as full as I'll let it get. Now you can also store your One Piece cards in binders. I have a lot of friends who do that. I actually store a bunch of Pokemon cards in binders and I've never had an issue. Of course, I've never had this problem with Pokemon to begin with. Anyway guys, let me know if you've seen this issue before. I really hope you haven't, but I just wanted to put out this video as a PSA to show you that you should not store your cards like I was for years. It was bad. Oh, and if you want to subscribe here, we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of May, and YouTube is recommending that you check out this video. Well, until the next spaghetti.